If you're serious about making money and consume content that can help you to do so, and you've not heard about Sebastian Ghiorghiu, then I genuinely do not know what you're doing. Him, alongside other creators like Ghiorghiu, have helped me to understand why the recession is important and why I need to take it seriously. A few months ago, whenever I would hear a recession, it's like skulls all over the place. I would think of it as something that is terrible for the economy. Not like I really cared, because it did affect me, but I never saw it as a good thing. But as I started to consume content on recession, know the meaning, why it's important, I quickly realized that it's a good thing, not just for myself, but for every single person watching this video that's ready to take advantage of it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about four main things. The first thing is what exactly a recession is. The second thing is why a recession can be good for you. The third thing is what you need to do during this recession. And the fourth thing is what I'm going to do during this recession. Now, before I get into the video proper, quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, obviously, but just for the sake of it, I am not licensed to give you any financial advice. Everything in this video is basically research that I have done and content that I consume on YouTube and Google. So without further ado, let's get into this. So for those of you that don't know what a recession is, very simply, a recession is a temporary decline in the economic growth of a particular state or a country. It's generally identified by a decrease in the GDP in 2 successive quarters. Now, GDP is short for gross domestic product, and it's basically the monetary value of the final goods and services. That means the goods and services that are consumed by the consumers, that total amount is referred to as the GDP. Now, a decline in this GDP in 2 successive quarters is what we refer to as a recession. So during a recession, you have things like increased unemployment rate, lower consumer spending, but I don't want to bore you guys with the definition of recession. Let's get into why a recession can be good for you. Well, before we get into that, is the US currently in a recession? I think everyone should know this by now. Yes, it is. The first 2 quarters of 2022 saw a negative growth in the US economy of negative 1.6 in the first quarter and negative 0.6. So it fits properly into the definition of a recession. Now, the reason I'm talking about the US recession as opposed to the country that I'm currently in, country I'm from, Nigeria, is because majority of the people watching this video, including myself, would have more investments or will want to invest more in the US markets as opposed to the Nigerian markets. I currently don't have any investment in Nigeria except real estate. We'll talk about that in another video. So how exactly is it good? Well, during a recession, the prices of things would generally go down. I want you to think of it like this. When the employment rate of a particular state or country increases, the companies and businesses would have to increase the price of their goods and services to meet up with the amount of people that they have to hire. So it's the exact opposite for the unemployment rate. When the unemployment rate decreases, because there is now less money to spend in the pool, companies would have to reduce the price of their goods and services so as to attract customers to buy their goods and services. Remember, during a recession, there is low consumer spending because there's not enough money around. So people and companies and businesses would have to reduce the price to attract people to get those particular things. So the prices of things generally go down in a recession. That's why the recession is important. We're talking of things like gold, goods, services, silver, stocks, bonds, all these kind of things would generally decrease during a recession. And we see it right now. We see it happen to cryptocurrency. We see it happen to majority of the stocks in the US. Now, a lot of people obviously would have lost money because of the decrease in prices of these certain assets. I lost money as well. But the point basically is when prices go down, it gives us an opportunity to invest and to ride the wave back up. So every trending market is made up of higher highs and higher lows, meaning that it would get to a point in the trend where it would start to come down, and at a particular level it would then continue to increase and surpass the high that it currently was. So these discounted prices give us a great opportunity for us to invest and increase our net worth. This is exactly why a recession is good. Prices are low, we take advantage of that, and we start to get massive returns within 2 to 3 years. I know past events cannot necessarily negate future events, but in an uptrend, when there is a high, like we have in cryptocurrency, in stock, when price starts to go back up, it usually would surpass the high that it currently was. There's no need to talk about the returns that could come out of this if done properly. So we've talked about why a recession is good. It's good because prices are low and it gives us an opportunity to invest at the lows and ride it up to the top, quote and unquote. So now we move over to the third point. What exactly should you do Well, what you want to do is start a cash flowing business, because the whole point of the recession is that prices are low and you're able to invest while prices are low. But obviously you can't invest if you don't have money. So you want to start a cash flowing business. Now, I said start a business, not look for a job that would bring you cash flow, because if you do that during a recession, what usually happens is that the unemployment rate would increase, meaning that there is a risk for you to get laid off. It doesn't mean that you should not get a job, but you should just consider the fact that it's possible to get laid off. But nevertheless, if you can, you want to start a cash flowing business, a business that can bring cash, and you do not want to start just any type of business. There are certain businesses that you can start and certain businesses that you cannot start. You do not want to start selling clothes, you don't want to start selling shoes or selling, these kind of products or services, because it's overly saturated, and between you and I, you're not going to make money. So you want to look for a business that would solve a problem and it's extremely scalable, all right? Because you want to at some point be able to increase the amount of money you earn by hiring more people, lowering the time that you spend in that particular business. So you want to start a business that's scalable and would solve a problem. A few months ago, if you've been watching my videos, you would know that I started an editing brand. I would edit pictures for people, and they would pay me a very tiny amount, right? I'm not doing that right now because I quickly realized that it would not bring me enough cash flow to take advantage of the great opportunity that I have lying in front of me. So you have to be realistic with yourself. I started it, I did get a few clients, but immediately I thought of that, I stopped. I cut it off and I started to look for something else to do. Recently, I just launched my tutorial course. So I created a course teaching students mathematics, and it's just there. So all I need to do is market, run ads, and that's it. So it's an extremely scalable business. And if I market it properly, then it can increase the cash flow that I earn. So you genuinely want to think of a business that is scalable, that can bring enough cash flow, and most importantly, will solve a problem. So as soon as you found a business like that, I want you to start to save certain amounts of that particular cash flow. Huge chunks of that cash flow. Because right now, I genuinely don't think it's the best time to invest in the market. Like I said earlier, I am not a financial advisor, so take every single thing I say with a pinch of salt. But nevertheless, for the next 2-3 months, at least personally, for the rest of this year, I'm not investing in anything. I'm trying to gather as much cash flow as I can and saving that cash flow. There's no point in getting cash flow and then spending it however you like. What you want to do is try as much as possible to save. And I would assume if you're watching content like mine, that's if you're watching a finance video, then you probably follow other finance channels as well. And these finance channels would be your indicator on when to start to buy. Another thing you need to do after starting a business that will generate cash flow and then saving and waiting for the time to invest is surround yourself with people that have the same goals as you. That's people that also want to increase financially, people in the stock market, crypto market, and finance market in general, because it will be fairly easy for you to know when to invest because you have other like-minded people as you. So just find, they're all over the net, a Discord group or a community where you can talk about these things with people so that you are not on this journey by yourself. But that's how I generally think you can take advantage of this recession. Get a cash flowing business, save up as much as you can, research on the certain type of assets that you want to invest in, whether it's crypto, whether it's stocks, whatever it is, then start to invest slowly. You can DCA. Don't put all your savings into a particular investment portfolio. You can DCA. That's dollar cost average. That's putting certain amounts every single month in particular assets and increase your investment portfolio and just wait for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, and you would see the increase in your net worth. So now we've come to the final part of this video on what I plan to do, and I think I already spoke about it. I recently started a tutorial company. My plan is to start to market this week and maybe in the coming months turn it to passive income. Because right now I have someone that's managing my Instagram account. Partially, I'm still doing some of the work, but all I need to do is put certain systems in place, and then in coming months it can turn to passive income. So this is how I plan to generate cash flow. For now, obviously with time I will think of other things that I need to do. Then I would start to invest in probably February or March. I don't know the assets I'm going to invest in yet. Obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum are one of them. Obviously I want to give a shout out to Sebastian Ghiorghiu, because genuinely, I would not have this idea to make the video, and I would not know anything about a recession without him and Ghiorghiu and some other creators as well. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification. I genuinely cannot wait to see what the coming months and years bring us. I'm so excited for the opportunity that I currently find myself in, and I hope you guys are excited as well. Nevertheless, remember to take advantage of every single opportunity that comes your way. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.